Back when I was a kid with the worst ball cut in the world, I used to love making comics. That one day when my dad found my old stack of drawings under the bed, the best day of my life. I found amazing drawings like this one too, and last but not the least, this. I know, it was like I was born to draw, right? Anyways, after laughing at how terrible I was at drawing, I found my old comic. There I saw my first ever OC, Star. Although her designs didn't really do her justice, it was all over the place. So what better to do than to redesign my very first OC, right? Also, before I start, I hope my audio is not terrible because I'm not using a mic. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry if the audio is kind of off sometimes. Yeah, thank you. So before I start describing the design process for the first one, I will, share a little lore about Star. So apparently from my knowledge of reading all 5 of my totally high quality and totally not weirdly based comics, Star was born to find the hidden world, at least in the first version. In the first chapter, as she introduces herself to the reader, a spaceship lands near her house and a few people come out of the ship. And then she meets Sammy, who happens to be my favorite character. But I didn't even know his full name was Sammy. I thought it was Sam for almost a decade, so I sound like a larper of my own comics. Anyways, honestly, I am kind of disappointed in my younger self because I didn't write a single drop of lore about Star. All I knew was she was sassy, she was sarcastic, she I don't know. She was Star. I think when I was younger, I wanted Star to be the cool girl, which is fine, but her character lacked the depth of a good character, if you know what I mean. Like, no lore, I don't know anything about her past. Even I, the writer, okay, the goat who wrote those peak comics. Yeah, I think you get the point, so I'll quit yapping. So, okay, now to describe the design. At first, I was thinking of a more tomboyish vibe because she does move around in the wilderness a lot. I also gave her some scars she might have gotten during her travels. I actually ended up keeping the scars till the end, like the final design. We all know this isn't the final design. The first design, I don't know. I feel like the first design is never the best design because there's still like so much room to explore. I'm sorry for all the pee-peeps and poo-poops in the background. I live in like the main road, so you're gonna hear that a lot, okay? So I was planning to give her a botched haircut, but I also wanted to test out a pixie cut on her too, which I ended up liking, but it didn't really give Star. So I stuck with the botched hair instead in the end. I actually ended up creating more lore for her with the vague context Kid Me provided. If I'm being honest, I felt like a historian decoding ancient texts with how terrible the pacing and just the overall world building was. Plus, since I drew the comic out with pencil, there was a lot of fading marks. After hyper-analyzing every single small conversation in the comics, I managed to, scrap out some lore for her, okay? Why am I saying scrap out? I mean, it was kind of difficult because there was literally nothing to work with. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. Maybe. But either way, let me continue. So her mom was a witch who suddenly disappeared, and her dad passed away in a car crash in like the same week. So at the young age of 3, Star had been sent to the orphanage. She doesn't have any memory of her father. As for her mother, all she has is a passport-size photo of her. And one more thing, her mom, Star's mom, left her with a blue gemmed necklace that you will see in the later designs. And an ankh, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll put it up on the screen too. An ankh necklace. I hope I'm not butchering this. I feel so ashamed. Which symbolizes a lot of things, but mostly life in this context. Of course, Star, being the normal human being she is, she was curious about her past, ever since her brain could comprehend reality. But she fails because, well, just like how Kid Me gave little to nothing to work with, Star also had nothing to work with either. All she had was 2 necklaces that she wore since she was born. However, she does remember one minor thing, her mom telling her that she was born to find the hidden world and how she could reunite with her mom there. Did you notice how I connected the first panel of the comic with Lore? I feel so smart. I wish I did more with the hidden world in the first comic. I feel like it had so much potential, but it just ended too quickly. I like the concept of Star having no clue about her past except for, finding the hidden world. So as for the design, I wanted to give her more, practical muscles or whatever you'd like to call it. But I didn't end up liking this design as much in the end. Since I worked from grayscale to color, the colors turned out ugly as hell. So I'll put it up on the screen now since this design is done. Yeah, it's not my favorite out of the 3. With the first design being like that, I kind of lost hope. But the first design gave me a clue of what type of colors I should use. So I ended up sticking with red as the primary color, yellow as the accent, and yellow as the secondary color and green as the accent. And in this second design, I tried to test out the botched cut, and I think I like it. I don't think it's necessarily botched. It could be like purposefully asymmetrical, but maybe not. So this design, I was really playing around with everything. So I liked the hair. First I was gonna give a ponytail. I think you can see in around the first few minutes of the time lapse, but I changed it into a more shorter, more asymmetrical hair. She kind of looks like Yelan though, like the hair, only the hair. And the first drawing was also good, but it didn't really give Star because it looked kind of shy and reserved, which she wasn't shy and reserved. And the second drawing in the same design-esque, if you want to say that, I wanted to give her a more bold type of pose, a more, revealing, not really revealing, but more fashionable clothes. And I ended up liking it. And this design was a huge help to plan out the clothing and the hairstyle. If the first one was helpful for the colors, the second one was helpful for the overall feel of Star. It helped me to know what type of clothing, what type of hairstyle, just the overall vibe of Star was based off of the second design. So both of the designs weren't useless, they were very helpful. As you can see, I was playing around with the colors as well. I was testing out if I should make yellow the primary color. You'll know soon enough if I made yellow the primary color or not. Either way, I am done with that speed paint of this drawing. So now I'm working on the third and final design. You must be wondering, hey Fishgate, all the designs so far have been super simple. And to that I say yes, it is supposed to be super simple because Star travels, so I didn't want to give her a lot of, excess clothing that could hinder her movement. So yeah, and I feel like she is more of a simple person when it comes to clothing itself, but simple doesn't mean bad, right? Like, I feel like if you looked at her from a distance, I feel like I might be able to recognize. I might be. Why am I doubting? Sorry, I'm doubting my own. Anyways, you get the point. Forget I ever said that. Yeah, I feel like she could be recognizable from afar, and that's enough. that's enough. So as you can see, I ended up going with the red as the main color and yellow and green as the complementary, I guess you could say that. And if you zoom in a little bit, you can see the blue necklace and the ang. I think it's pronounced ang. I need to search it up. I mean, I have searched it up, but I'll search it up again. And as you can see, I put the travel bag as well because she travels. And yeah, I really ended up liking this design, and I was planning to do a more official type illustration, but I didn't really get to that. Yeah, so here is the final piece. I hope you like her final design. I really ended up enjoying, uh, making the redesigning my first OC since she is special to me. This is a more unedited type of, last voice thing. I don't know, recording, yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have watched till the end, I really appreciate it since it's like my first video ever. I was kind of nervous to get it out there, but thought I would still, post. So if anyone has any suggestions, if anyone watches, the video, I would love for you to drop your thoughts in the comments and such. So thank you for listening till the end to my rant. Have a good day.